Gnaw. Make some noise for yourself tonight. You know, I'ma tell you, like I said, I'm here for you tonight. If you want to keep going, I will keep going tonight. What's up?
Yeah!
If you want to keep going, I will keep going tonight.
Alright, so it's my first video back in just a little while, and I wanted to not necessarily review a album today, but something that happened, and I already talked about it in my Camp Flog Gnaw recap video, and I'm making this video now because it's going to be too late to really talk about it soon. I mean, it's still an event that's gone down in kind of history, if you will, or at least in the hip-hop landscape. It's kind of, in my mind, going to go down in a little bit of history. I was at Camp Flog Gnaw when Drake, with the mystery guest, got booed off stage, and I'm sure if you've clicked on this video, you already have a really good idea of what happened with that situation. To kind of outline things real quick, Tyler, the Creator, puts on a huge music festival in Los Angeles every year called Camp Flog Gnaw. He typically has a mystery guest on the bill, and the mystery guest this year, well, it was a few artists, but for the most part, it was Drake. This year's lineup had a lot more singers in the past. It actually had fewer overall rap acts than is typical for this festival, and me and my brother actually bought tickets for it before we even saw the lineup. So luckily there was, you know, a lot of good rap acts for us, as we're not as big as fans of a lot of singers, especially the ones that were here, or not here but on the show. Every year, Tyler, again, he typically has a mystery guest, and just like every other year on the flyer, there are question mark, question mark, question mark. So it had no indication of who it was going to be. Now, however, again, with the bill being the way it was, with as many singers on it, as many underground artists, as many indie type artists, and I'll put the lineup on screen, that way I don't have to go, that way I don't have to go over the whole thing. Again, there was a lot of artists and a lot of people to see, and I don't know all of them necessarily myself. I have listened to everybody since going to the festival and before the festival, but again, I'm not the best to go over the entire lineup. So I'll put that on screen and you can pause it, or you can Google it yourself or whatever. But again, there was question mark, question mark, question mark. Now, everyone all day long had been debating who was going to be the mystery guest, who was going to be the mystery guest. When I had been to the festival in 2016, the mystery guest was actually Tyler and Earl Sweatshirt together as Earl Wolf, which was really cool. It's been Mac DeMarco in the past, and I'm not actually sure. I believe it may have been Kids See Ghosts just last year, or they were on the bill, I'm not sure. But in any case, the mystery guest is always something that people are really hyped on, and all day in line, all day in the games, all day at the show, people have been asking, who do you think it's going to be? Who do you think it's going to be? And the general consensus was, of course, Frank Ocean. And for the bill, for the festival, with the being an indie festival and all that, it made a lot of sense. In fact, it would have been really, I mean, it was probably, with his style of music and all the rappers that were there and all the artists that were there, not to mention, you know, of course, it's an Odd Future festival. It's Tyler, the Creator's baby, and, you know, Odd Future members are always kind of main acts, if you will. Everyone thought it would be Frank Ocean. Now, I won't lie to you, and you may already be disliking this, or you might be leaving a rash comment down below, but my brother and I, not being very big Frank fans, we're actually probably going to go ahead and leave early and go ahead and get our Uber and whatnot back to the hotel. Maybe stay for a few of his songs, but just kind of beat the general rush. There was 60,000 people, 60,000, maybe more, maybe a little less, at Camp Flog Gnaw, and so it's been good for us to beat the traffic. And again, as far as Frank goes, I like a few of his songs. I respect what he does. I respect him as an artist, but he's just not someone that I necessarily needed to see or wanted to experience live in that fashion. But all day, that's what we've been hearing, and, you know, other things like A$AP Rocky, maybe Pharrell, maybe, you know, I was betting on Lil Uzi Vert. That's who I thought was going to be the headliner. I thought Lil Uzi was going to come on for about an hour and play. What we actually ended up getting was, well, and it went something like this, and this adds to the rest of Drake getting booed. I'm getting to that part here, but Tyler comes out, dressed rather normally, and he says, "Hey guys, thank you everybody for coming. This has been 8 years. You know, the whole kind of just thank you spiel that someone should do as they're putting on a festival." And he says, "Can I bring a friend down?" Of course, we're all expecting a mystery guest, and who does he bring out but A$AP Rocky, which, A$AP Rocky has been on the Flog Gnaw bill almost every year for the past, 8 years or something like that, maybe 4 or 5, but he wasn't there this year, so we kind of expected A$AP Rocky in some capacity, so to get him out, and he played 2 songs. After those 2 songs, he said, "Thanks, have a good night." Tyler comes back out, and he says, "Can I bring out another friend?" And he brings out Lil Uzi. Now, Lil Uzi comes out and plays 3 songs. And then that's it. He says goodnight, thank you, all that and the other. So for partially here, a lot of the crowd is still expecting Frank Ocean and just Frank Ocean. And at this point, a good portion of the crowd is expecting just a rotation of people doing 2 or 3 songs. And Tyler comes on and he says, "Can I bring out another friend?" And lo and behold, to everyone's surprise, and real quick to kind of bring it back to when we were talking to people about who could the mystery guest be, my brother and I said absolutely not Drake, because Drake was heavily rumored online and at the festival. People talked about it a lot, but I gave it no mind. I didn't think Drake could possibly be the one for this. I didn't think Tyler would curate Drake necessarily. I know that Tyler's a big fan, but I just didn't see him getting him to headline his festival as the mystery guest. It just was too big of a moment. I actually been saying all day that Drake may be too big or, too mainstream, if you will, for this. So to have Drake come out, and he started from the bottom, was just kind of a pinnacle moment for someone like me and my brother, or even my girlfriend, or a lot of people in the audience who are big fans of Drake. So again, we were, I don't want to say emotional, but we were just so surprised and so befuddled that it was in fact Drake as a mystery guest. And a lot of the crowd reacted pretty good at first. Some people were meh, whatever, it's Drake, at least where we were. And he played 2 songs, just like the other, guests before him, and he said, "Hey guys, this is your festival. I want your permission to be out here and to play more songs for you." And people, gave him a decent cheering, at least again from where we were. Basically, he played those 2 more songs. He said, "Hey guys, I want to play 2 more songs for y'all. Is that okay?" And somewhere in there, he kept asking about the crowd, and the crowd started to respond a little more negatively. And he said, "Hey guys, I got 2 songs right here for Tyler the Creator. These are songs I never play. These are old cuts, 5, 7 years, whatever."
Make some noise for yourself tonight. I'm gonna tell you, like I said, I'm here for you tonight. If you want to keep going, I will keep going tonight. What's up? Yeah! If you want to keep going, I will keep going tonight.
He hasn't played them in many years. And he did Your Way is another song. And even though those performances, he said he hadn't done them in years, they were fantastic. They were really barsy songs. He really sang and he really, rapped quite a bit. And right after that, he goes, "Camp Flog Gnaw, I want to rock with you all night." And at this point, people were getting the idea that maybe, Drake was in fact just the mystery headliner. We didn't know. We still at this point had no idea what exactly was going on. No one said, no one told us, and we didn't really know until after it happened. And he plays the 2 songs, he played the 2 songs for Tyler the Creator, the Tyler the Creator requests. And he says, "I want to rock with you all night. I want to be out here and play more for you guys." Now, granted, he's been on stage for 25 minutes. People are expecting someone else, right? They want Frank Ocean. One thing, if you've never been to a big music festival, there's a lot of switching stages. There was 3 stages at this event, so if you want to see one performer at some time and another performer's performing at one time, you're going to have to make a shuffle. And a lot of people actually went and camped out at the stage for the mystery guest. When I say they camped out, they made sure they got a good front spot. They made sure they got a really great view. They wanted to be basically front row. And a lot of those people who went and camped out for Frank Ocean. They didn't camp out for anybody else. It was to see Frank Ocean as the mystery guest. There's a few problems with that, as you already are kind of guessing from the start. Mainly that no one confirmed, no one said, no one came out and even, remotely leaked, unless, it could have come out fake, that it was going to be Frank Ocean. So it's a very unfortunate that and I believe this is something Tyler directly said, that the narrative that these particular fans brought in their own mind created this negative experience. Because first of all, if you see a live performance, if you see someone who's willing to put their art on stage for you, to boo them off stage in any capacity is just extremely rude. I can't imagine, even if it was, if a different legend had gone up on stage, if Rihanna, if Dr. Dre, if anybody else, Kanye West, Justin Bieber, I don't care, went up on stage, I don't know if they would even have gotten booed in the same way that Drake has, just because of that, like, it's pop rap, I don't really like that kind of mentality that some of the crowd had. It's just a really interesting, like, dichotomy to see, someone so pinnacle, so legendary, and even Tyler said the biggest artist of, the last 10 years or our generation, whatever he said, many of those arguments can be made about Drake, would get booed off stage, even, just because he's not the guy you wanted to see. And regardless, does booing Drake off stage or booing Drake at all make Frank Ocean appear? No. There's nothing that says just because Drake's going to exit stage, Frank's going to come on stage. And does Frank even want to be on that stage at that point with those fans? That's just a whole nother level to it. Me and my brother and, other people discussed was, what if Frank did plan to come out? Sorry about the extra noise. My cat's messing around. What if Frank did plan to come out but decided that the crowd was being too petty and bitter about the Drake thing and didn't respect him, that he decided not to? Or we could have got a rare Drake-Tyler collab performance. These are all the hypotheticals that don't really need to be discussed because they didn't happen. For my personal, sake, I thought that the last two songs that Drake had performed were his last two songs, so I'm really happy to have gotten the experience that I did. But again, it was a weird experience overall, and it's just a little tainted because of the general what happened and how the crowd reacted. Because me and my brother are very excited, and a few people around us in the crowd, quite a few people around us in the crowd are very excited. There's people, oh, this is my favorite Frank Ocean song, or, oh, yep, that's Frank, or, okay, when's Frank coming? And that's, again, it's all good and fine, but if you're not a Frank fan and you are a Drake fan, and it's just kind of, again, rude. And honestly, there was probably enough people in the crowd excited about Drake that they could have over-cheered or over-chanted the booers or the haters, but no one expected to have to do that. That was one thing I noticed is when we were walking out, again, with 50K people, and we were in the airport the next day, and at our hotel even, there's people all over who'd been to this festival. Most people were on the side of, why? Why did this happen? Why did Drake get booed off stage? We wanted to see more Drake. And again, no one expected to have to defend one of the biggest artists ever in that capacity, when even as just hip hop fans should have been excited to be there for Drake. So I know this isn't a really new opinion or a different opinion, but I wanted to kind of talk about it since I was there live and was there to experience it. Again, it was just weird, some of the comments from the Frank lovers and during the performance and the general feel. Honestly, again, there were performers that played at stages that I didn't want to see, and what I left. I walked away and went and saw someone else. If it was going to be Frank Ocean as the final act, my brother and I had agreed, we would leave a little early, so I don't know why people couldn't do that with Drake. They couldn't just leave. They had to make a fuss. Tyler posted about a girl crying and looking at him and saying something like, Tyler, what the F, and how could you do this, or something like that. What is this, shit and whatnot. But again, nothing was guaranteed. It's a very entitled feeling when it was a quote-unquote mystery guest. If you were at Camp Flog Gnaw and you want to add in your opinion or your 2 cents, if you're a huge Frank Ocean fan and you want to talk about why the Drake thing was such a letdown and why you thought it had to be Frank Ocean and who told you it was going to be Frank Ocean, tell me in the comments. If you've ever been to a show where someone's been booed off stage and didn't deserve to be, because it's not like Drake was performing poorly. Drake was performing very well and put on a great performance just like anybody should at that capacity as a headliner. He wasn't drunk or, making a fool of himself in any way like that. That you can get booed off for as a big performer. If you come on stage and you're not performing well, you're not doing your best, sure, absolutely you should be booed off stage. But Drake performed really well. So again, in the comments, if you think that was necessary, let me know. If you don't think it was necessary, of course, talk with me about it. Otherwise, please, you guys, as you know, do the YouTube thing. Every YouTuber on here will say it. Like, comment, subscribe. It really helps us out. It makes us want to do this more. And if you like the content, we'll keep going over that. if you want more recaps of live hip-hop stuff rather than just albums and music, let me know. I kind of really like talking about what goes on in hip-hop outside of just the music and stuff, and I don't know if I want to get into that on the channel. So let me know if you like this video or want more stuff like that. Otherwise, have a good one. Thank you so much.